Brendan Mortensen here in Aberdeen, joined by Orioles prospect Griff O'Ferrall. Griff, thanks so much for taking some time.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So first and foremost, I mean, this was your first professional season. Just what has that jump been like mentally and physically for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a lot of lessons learned, I would say, which I kind of knew coming into the year. It's going to be a lot of things that I kind of had to learn about the duration of the season, body-wise, the competition level. So, I think I've learned a lot in different aspects. But, yeah, it's definitely, I think we're on game 120 or something now. So just trying to keep the body healthy and finish strong.
What are some of the biggest takeaways, you think, or at least some of the lessons that you've learned thus far?
I mean, for one, just that it is such a long season. There's so much time to make adjustments and learn from successes or failures. I think that's the biggest thing. You don't really realize how long it is until you're in it for the first time. So that and just kind of keeping track of my body and taking care of my body throughout the season so that I can, go the whole season strong.
Yeah, numbers-wise for you, you've been hitting close to 300 in August. Mm-hmm. What do you think's working well for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just took me some time to kind of learn this level. I think the stuff is really good here. The competition's really good. Obviously, the second half has been much better for me than the first half. I think like I said, there's just a lot of lessons that I needed to learn against, this level of pitching and competition. And, I think just continuing to work hard every day and just make adjustments as quickly as I can throughout the season, I think has just led to having a more successful second half.
Yeah, and I mean, at Virginia, you were always a contact first guy,
Mm-hmm.
Didn't strike out very much, good walk rate, things like that. The numbers this year for you are interesting because the walk rate has still been, solid and consistent. You're still not striking out a whole bunch. The batting average has been lower than, obviously it was at college. So
Right.
it's quite a jump there. But just approach-wise, I mean, it seems like it's a similar mentality in the box at UVA. Kind of talk to me a little bit about your approach here and what's been working and what hasn't.
Yeah, I think it just takes more of an approach at this level, more of a plan, I guess, especially facing all these different guys. You'll probably face, 3 or 4 different guys a game, and they all have different repertoires and different pitches and different ways that they're trying to attack you, and everyone's throwing 95 plus and, with multiple off speeds. And so I think it just kind of takes more of a plan, and I think I just have continued to get better at making that plan before I get in the box, which I think has led to the second half success. I think I'm still like you said, I'm still the same player as far as contact first, trying not to strike out a lot, trying to hit line drives, but I think just becoming cleaner in my approach and more defined in what I'm trying to do, especially when the arms keep getting better like this, is probably what helps the most.
Yeah, I want to expand on one thing you said there, that it's, the approach before you get into the box.
Yeah.
What goes into a lot of that?
For me, it's just kind of seeing what the pitcher has and what he's trying to do to get you out, Like I said, like every guy's a little different, whether it's movement or, pitch usage and stuff like that. And every guy is trying to get you out in a different way. So I think just going in there with a plan and not just kind of going up there and just being like, just kind of swinging, I think that's what I've gotten better at, is kind of understanding what I need to do to beat the pitcher, depending on his pitches and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm trying to think about and go over in the dugout before I get in the box.
Defensively, you've split time between shortstop and second base. You were a shortstop all throughout college. What's that transition been like over to second when you're playing there?
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, I think, most weeks I'm like 3 games at short, 2 at second. So it's been good that I get to play both. Second base is definitely different angles and stuff like that, but it's a lot of fun. You get to make some really cool plays, sliding plays and stuff, because the throw is shorter. So you get to do some cool stuff. But yeah, I've really enjoyed both. And I think playing both has helped me get better at both, just trying to stay athletic at different spots.
Yeah, and at the highest level, we've seen guys like Jackson Holliday, Jordan Westberg, who have, been able to be versatile throughout their entire careers. Is that a pathway you see for yourself as well, to just be able to play wherever they need you in the infield?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think I just want to be out there. It doesn't really matter to me where I am, and I think my whole life I've played different positions. I've played different sports. Like I pride myself on being able to play wherever they want me to play. So if I can just, be an athlete, I think I could play wherever.
And last one for you, just going into the off season, what are you going to reflect on about this season in terms of, okay, this is what I need to attack going into 26?
Yeah, I mean, It's a good question. I haven't sat down and
Yeah.
really thought about it yet.
That's for the offseason, right?
Trying to finish strong here, but good question. I mean, I think that's definitely something I'm going to do, right when the season's over. Talk to some of the Orioles guys and then just, kind of figure out my training plan for the offseason. I think, like I said, I think I'm in a really good trajectory right now as far as offensively, just continuing to learn and make adjustments. And I think, if I can just kind of build off of this second half throughout the whole offseason, then I think we'll be in a good spot for next season. So
yeah, it's a lot of good momentum going into the offseason.
For sure.
Griff, appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.